Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, August 20th, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, CHARLESTOWN man killed in early morning crash. Government ironing out fiscal terms before oil blocks auction, says Vice President. Parking lots needed to alleviate city's traffic woes, says the Mayor. JAGDEO says GPF'S moonlighting policy to be reviewed. And all COVID-positive persons must isolate, says Dr. Anthony to employers. Now for the news in detail. A Georgetown resident was killed in a crash on the Rupert Craig Highway in the wee hours of today. The dead man has been identified as 32-year-old Stephen Stewart of Charles Street, Charlestown, Georgetown. The accident occurred sometime around 3:10 hours when Stewart's car crashed into the back of a truck that was parked on the shoulders of the highway. According to police reports, the truck was parked there to remove another car, which had swerved from another vehicle and had ended up running into the nearby trench. At that time, Stewart's car crashed into the rear portion of the parked truck. The truck's hazard lights were on. The police have said that Stewart was seen motionless in his mangled vehicle after the collision. He was subsequently pronounced dead at the scene by an EMT. The body of the deceased was taken to the Memorial Gardens mortuary to await a post-mortem examination. The drivers of both the truck and the car that was in the trench were in custody, assisting with investigation. The Ghana government has now shifted auctioning of the remaining oil blocks offshore to year-end in order to facilitate completion of the fiscal terms that would be outlined in the new prospecting license model for those ventures. Find out more in this Rupert Sinarain report.
Initially, government was expected to hold the highly anticipated auction in September of this year. But during a press conference on Friday, Vice President Dr. JAGDEO explained that this process has been delayed due to ongoing efforts to iron out the terms and conditions of the new prospecting licenses that would be signed with successful bidders when the available blocks go on auction.
And this is where we may have some delay, because we now need to determine the fiscal terms for the new prospecting license. The prospecting licenses that will have to be issued to the successful bidders will have to outline those terms. And so it will say whether we will retain the 50 model, that is, after clearing costs, the profit oil would be divided equally between the investor and the government, what the royalty rate will be, what would be the other fiscal terms in the contract.
According to JAGDEO, these details, though contentious, need to be determined very early, and so government is swiftly working on a number of pieces.
So it is trying to put all of this together in a framework that is fair to the investor, that would allow so that they get a decent return on their capital, that would promote accelerated exploration, and then thirdly, importantly, would allow the country to enjoy a greater share of future benefits should they proceed with production agreements. So this is a major issue that could slow down the auction a bit.
Moreover, the Vice President disclosed that government has to determine a number of issues before August ends, including whether to pursue a strategic government-private partnership or put all the blocks up for auction or do a combination of both. A decision will have to be made on how to divide the available areas offshore Guyana into potential blocks and what sizes the blocks should be. Another issue that has to be ironed out is deciding on whether to allow existing companies operating offshore, such as ExxonMobil, to participate in the auction, and if so, whether there would be a limit to the number of blocks they could have.
So these are all the variables. I'm being totally frank with you, so that the timeline could be adjusted on the basis of how swiftly we can resolve this multiple of issues. And that is what is currently ongoing within the government circles, the technical work that's being done. We're getting some external help to do this and to do all of this preparation. So when we go to auction, we can maximize the benefit to the country.
Earlier this year, JAGDEO had disclosed that there was significant interest from Middle Eastern companies to partner with the state in developing its remaining blocks.
Contending that parking meters will not solve the city's woes in relation to adequate parking space, Georgetown Mayor Ubraj Narain has suggested the creation of parking lots instead. Here is Rupasina Narain again with the details.
Speaking at a press conference on Friday, the Georgetown mayor shared that the current traffic situation in the capital city and volume of vehicles requiring parking facilities call for a better approach than just parking meters.
This kind of development, you need parking lots. If you bring parking meter in the city, the parking meter can't take off all of this traffic right now you have in the city. So while you have parking lots, some people can choose to park the vehicle in the parking lots, while if you have parking meter, you can choose to pay the money and park at the pavement.
On the other hand, Narain added that he is not against parking meters. However, he opined that it should be done through consultation and input from the private sector and civil society.
Parking meter should be done with some kind of conjunction with the private sector body and other stakeholders within the city, because you just can't bring parking meter and wake up next morning and see a meter at your door. That happened before, and I believe a proper study, engage the citizen, the private sector, civil society, and have something comprehensive.
Back in 2016, the mayor and city council had entered into a contract with Smart City Solutions for the installation of parking meters in the capital city. The parking meters were active in January 2017, but this was met with strong resistance from the then PPPC opposition, private sector bodies, and citizens, who formed an organization called the Movement Against Parking Meters. Amid public pressure, the then APNU AFC government finally intervened and suspended the bylaws which paved the way for the implementation of metered parking, thus effectively halting the parking meter project. This project has since remained stalled. Rupasina Narain, The Evening News.
European Union High Commissioner Fernando Pons Canto will be leaving Guyana this month end after completing a 3-year stint, and according to him, during his time here, he has seen Guyana's economy taking off and setting up the country for a bright economic future. Gerald Bryan joins us with more.
EU Ambassador Fernando Pons Canto, in an exclusive interview with this newscast, reflected on his time in Guyana and the progress the country has made. He noted that while in Guyana, he was able to witness the economy taking off. The diplomat was accredited in September of 2019. Oil production started in December 2019, 3 months later.
You have just heard it. One of the speakers gave some very interesting figures. Trade between Europe and Guyana has doubled, tripled, and many other things have also increased a lot. I have the satisfaction. I always say these days that I am happy and sad. I'm happy because I leave the country at a moment where I think it is taking off, and there is a bright future happening now. Many people still have to be part of it, but I'm happy because of that. But I'm also sad, of course, because I love this country, so a part of me would like to stay behind, of course.
Pons Canto also spoke about the role he played during the 2020 general and regional elections, when democracy was under threat for 5 months as the election results were being determined.
I'm very happy about the little contribution that we could make during the political crisis in 2020. I think that, of course, the Guyanese, you and all the Guyanese from all the parties, were the ones really making it happen, making the solution, the final democratic solution that was reached. But if we could contribute a little bit, I am proud of that. And I am also proud of my team, who has been supporting me a lot all the time. And perhaps I'm also proud or happy that I had, well, actually happy and grateful that I was welcomed so much by Guyana and by the lovely people of Guyana.
According to the diplomat, even with his exit, the EU will continue its assistance to Guyana on projects that include its climate change mitigation efforts.
In the past, we have been very focused on the seawall. We have helped, I think, a lot to build and to maintain the seawall, the defenses. But in the future, I think that we are going to continue to work on mangroves. We have just approved a 5 million allocation for doing so, and this is part of the sea defense. But it is also part of the other thing that we want to do, which is to protect the forests. And we will have what we call forest partnership in the next few years, in the next 7 years, and the total amount that we are dedicating to that partnership is 21 million euro. So I'm very happy to leave that also to my successor as one of the most important files that he will be dealing with.
According to Pons Canto, after Guyana, he will be heading to the EU headquarters in Brussels, the capital of Belgium. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, JAGDEO said GPF's moonlighting policy to be reviewed. Please stay tuned.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
At Mima Decor, we cater for all of your favorite design products. Tiles for your floors and walls, doors, door locks and knobs, bathroom cabinets, bathtubs and bathroom fixtures, kitchen sinks and fixtures, chandeliers, wall lamps and light fixtures, wallpaper and wall panels, plus so much more. Let's make your creation a reality. Mima Decor, 8 Sheriff Street. Like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. In light of the recent controversy surrounding the police sergeant Dion Bascom, who has made some damning allegations of covering up by senior ranks and subsequent reports emerging of him being paid by an Essequibo businessman, the Guyana Police Force's moonlighting policy could be reviewed. More in this Amar Prasad report.
Police Force's moonlighting policy allows for ranks to provide services for businesses such as police escort and any security at public events for which they paid. But Vice President JAGDEO, during a press conference on Friday, said that the government must relook at this arrangement.
We have to find another safe way of doing this, because when this happens, there is a coziness that develops between elements in the police and these people because of that relationship that they're working legally, but the coziness starts developing there. And therefore, things have to change.
CVP further noted that the PPPC government stands by the decision to have the GPF conduct a full and complete investigation into the matter with external support.
Now, I don't know whether Bascom is credible or not, but he has made allegations that have to be looked into, and the president has said that already. I don't know. The People's Progressive Party will not condone any illegal act on the part of any of those individuals that I mentioned, or others for that matter. People have to face consequences for their action, whatever their action is.
This after being busted along with others with cocaine, Sergeant Ian Bascom claimed during a Facebook Live that he was being set up and alleged that a senior police officer is covering up the murder of Ricardo Paper Shorts Fagundes, who was gunned down outside a popular Main Street Georgetown night spot more than a year ago. Police Commissioner Clifton Hicken had ordered the Office of Professional Responsibility to investigate the matter, and that probe has been completed. The findings and recommendations were sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions Office for Legal Advice before any action is taken. While the details of the probe are unknown, Crime Chief Wendell Blanham, during a recent press conference, debunks the allegations being peddled by Bascom. Since making these allegations, the sergeant is now facing several lawsuits running into millions of dollars from the senior cop, along with a prominent business and his private security guard, whom the cop also fingered in the cover-up allegations. Bascom, through his lawyer, has written President Dr. Irfan Ali for witness protection after reportedly being threatened. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has warned that all persons who test positive for the novel coronavirus should isolate or be in quarantine. This was in response to claims of some employees being asked to work even though they have COVID-19. Shane Marks has the details.
During his recent COVID-19 update, the health minister reminded that there are national guidelines as it pertains to persons who test positive for COVID-19. Dr. Anthony explained that if someone tests positive for the virus, they should isolate themselves so as to not infect others, especially if they have contracted the subvariant of the Omicron, BA.5, which is highly transmittable.
First of all, there is national guidelines as it pertains to people who have tested positive. So if you've tested positive, you have to isolate so as not to infect others. Especially with this particular subvariant of the Omicron, BA.5, it is highly transmissible. So if you are next to someone who is infected with BA.5 and you are not wearing your mask or taking the relevant precautions, then you would get infected. So it is advisable that persons who have tested positive isolate from others so as to prevent the spread. If people are ignoring that and they go to work, they would obviously be spreading the virus in the workplace.
According to the health minister, the responsible thing that anyone who has tested positive for the deadly virus can do is take the necessary precautions to protect those who may be of high risk of succumbing to the virus if contracted.
But there are persons who, they have other underlying illnesses. Maybe they have high blood pressure, they have diabetes, kidney problems, and so forth. These persons, if they're not up to date with their vaccination, unfortunately can have a more severe form of COVID, which can result in hospitalization and even death. So it is not the same for everyone. And therefore, if we are going to protect each other, we really need to take these precautions.
Shane Marks, The Evening News.
Here is Shane Marks once more telling us in this report that Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has debunked accusations of there being a shortage of the second dose vaccine for the 5 to 11 age cohort. He has reassured that there are adequate amounts of Pfizer vaccines for the targeted age groups across the country. Let's have a look.
While updating the public on Guyana's COVID-19 situation on Friday, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony addressed the claims of vaccine shortages in the second dose for the 5 to 11 cohort.
We have adequate amounts of Pfizer vaccines, and whatever you get as your first dose, it is the same vaccine that is used as the second dose. So we have enough vaccines. So anyone requiring a first dose, a second dose, we have enough at the various vaccination sites. So right now, the vaccines that we're using for persons 12 years and older is the Pfizer vaccine. And we have a pediatric form of the vaccine that is for children between 5 and 11. The pediatric version is 1/3 of the adult dose. But for children 12 and above, let's say 12 to 17, they receive the adult formulation. And that was what is recommended by Pfizer, the US FDA, all the regulatory bodies.
The health minister noted that maybe people are under the misconception that there are two different vaccines being administered to one person. But he explained that the first dose vaccine is the same as the second dose, hence there could be no shortage.
It's not a different vaccine. I think maybe people are under the misconception that it's two different vaccines. It's not two different vaccines. So when you get your first dose, you come back 28 days after, and they give you the same vaccine, but it's just the interval of time.
Dr. Anthony also assured that there is no vaccine shortage for any of the other age cohorts.
Apart from the Pfizer vaccines, we also have Moderna vaccines that are available. So the three vaccines that we currently have in stock and that we've been using to do our vaccination against COVID is Pfizer, adult and pediatric doses. We have Moderna, and we have the Sinopharm vaccine. So these are the three available vaccines right now.
Shane Marks, The Evening News.
At least 1,000 persons in Guyana are likely to be employed to work from home in the telemarketing field by the end of this year. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that in an effort to boost its workforce, the company held a job fair today at the University of Guyana's Berbice campus. Here's more.
The company, Teleperformance, held the event to boost its employment drive. The event was viewed as an outreach to attract Berbicians who might be interested in working from home. All interested persons need to have is internet and a high school certificate. This is according to recruiting manager of Teleperformance, Rayburn Bowman.
The whole idea for this job fair, we're actually looking to hire over 800 to 1,000 by January or before the end of this year. Our work from home program is moving really fast, and that's what we're trying to do to accommodate everyone.
Over 550 persons have already been hired in the work from home program. Saturday's job fair saw the company taking persons through the pre-screening process. Meanwhile, Acting President, Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, who attended the event, lauded the job fair an opportunity to create employment in Berbice. He noted that Teleperformance has taken advantage of the liberalization of the telecommunications sector to expand investment in Guyana. In fact, since the liberalization in October 2020, Guyana has seen an expansion in telecommunications and ITC-related infrastructure countrywide.
And we're at the stage now where the technology can be leveraged to support the investment, and as in this case, Teleperformance investment in Guyana, and that itself will lead to the creation of many jobs, not only in Georgetown, but in areas outside of Georgetown, and like what we're doing here in Region 6.
Senior Minister with responsibilities for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, also accompanied the Prime Minister and noted that government has been investing in training persons in ITC education to ensure that more persons have skills which are needed in order to work in the sector. However, Dr. Singh noted that government is also working to create jobs in other sectors by improving skills through capacity building.
There's a very traditional type of job that, over the years, the Guyanese economy has become accustomed to a very traditional type of work. But as we undergo this transformation that the President has been speaking about so frequently, this is part of that transformation to new types of jobs, new types of skills being required for those new types of jobs. This is all part of the transformation that is taking place. And it's important that young people, potential job seekers, prepare themselves for these new job types. This is why programs like the Gold Scholarship Program is so important.
With persons seeking jobs in the telemarketing industry, there will be a need for stable internet. The Evening News asked both Teleperformance and the acting president whether the bandwidth being offered by internet providers was adequate.
Well, there's always room for improvement. And to be fair to the service providers, they're investing. We're seeing a daily expansion in the infrastructure. And eventually we reach to the point where all of us will be satisfied with the service.
What is required, as you know, if you don't know, basically it's like 10 megs of internet, like DSL, GTT. We know we have e-networks within the area as well, but it's also up to a point whereby, those persons can work from home. We also have persons who would actually work from their family, like go to their family houses who have sufficient internet, to work.
For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
After a 2-year hiatus, the Berbice Expo and Trade Fair is set to make a return and will be held from October 14th to 17th at the Albion Sports Complex. This was announced by coordinator of the event, Taj Paul Adohia, on Friday. Andrew Carmichael joins us again with the details.
The Berbice Expo and Trade Fair returns right here at the Albion Sports Complex after a 2-year hiatus as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The expo is being organized by the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce, and it features a range of exhibits across the manufacturing, service and retail industries. The last Berbice Expo and Trade Fair was held in 2019. Then it was the 16th edition of the expo.
Our expo this year is a bit of a cross between the Agri Expo and our regular expo. If you had gone to the Agri Expo recently at the convention center, you would have seen when we had that big gathering of the foreign prime ministers in Guyana, where they agreed that they're going to reduce the cost of importation of food in the Caribbean by 25% by 2025. Our expo this year is focusing also on agriculture, but also business in general, tourism. And we would like this expo to be one where the participants can see some rewards and to see the merits of going there.
That was President of the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce, Mohammed Rafiq, speaking at the launch of the Berbice Expo 2022 at the Chamber's office here in Rose Hall Town in the Quarantine. Rafiq said that government agencies should play a big role in the expo.
We would like to see the Central Housing Authority come here in a big way also. That is very important because we have a lot of housing developments, we have a lot of housing going on, housing being taking place, being built not far from here. And we would like those people, I mean right at our very chamber here a couple of months back, where some of the participants got titles to their homes, right here. So we would like also the Central Housing to come in and also to be a part of this expo. So the people going there can be able to find out and make inquiries from them directly, how they can be able to access a house.
This particular event hosted by the Central Quarantine Chamber is certainly the largest single event in this region. The largest single event. And thousands of persons traverse in and out of the trade fair in this 3-4 days period. Thousands of persons. And it not only gives persons an opportunity to display their products and display their whatever they are, but it also gives families an opportunity to take their children and their relatives and their friends for an outing as well. So it's a family outing, besides a Barbies Expo and Trade. So it's a double one.
Director of Business in the Tourism Ministry, John Edgell, said that government will be playing a big role in Barbies Expo this year. This year, the expo will be held under the theme Advancing Food Security through Agricultural Sustainability and Innovation, and the expo will be held between October 14th and 17th. Reporting for the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
We will now take a look at the bridge reports.
So Demoara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, August 21, 2022 at 11 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 12 hours 35 on Sunday, August 21, 2022, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
And now the local stock exchange market, compliments of Gassi. Athletes needed support for success, Olympic Association executive says. This and more coming up in the Sportscast, sponsored by MacCorp.
With unlimited games to choose from, you can be a winner with Superbet. Choose from our virtual sports, live betting, sports betting, live roulette, and much more. Place your bets at www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 and over. Play responsibly.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvies has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvies Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.